Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you guys had a good night. Energies was kind of like a quickly shift today, and there's a lot of changes, right? Sun moved into Leo, the moon moves into Gemini. We have a lot of going on in Cancer, which is the love and Lilith, and so on and so on. Some of you may be realizing friendships or partnerships within the family, within your own self. It's a lot of going on last night, and it's still going on. It's that energy is going to change though within the 2 days. So chill out. But it's about preparations of feminine energy that is going to be look for it. You might gonna feel emotional. You might gonna feel crying. You might gonna feel a lot of sadness and so on. But it's all about evolution. Think about that. Looking at it from the good way. And kind of like a funny, but the video today it's talking about this. So before we begin the talk, let's recognize people in the chat. Appreciate all the brave souls coming into the chat. Kristen, hi. Margaret, Purity Passion, Ray the White, Skywalker is in the house. May the force be with you. I'm expecting some kind of like a very good questions today. Don't know why, but I had that feeling. Okay. Just let's not use the most popular phrase in all the Twin Flames and all the Star Wars, I'm sorry, movies. I have a bad feeling about this. But so that's what this is. Wow. Hey, there you go. Hi, Nick. Morning, brother. Thank you for being here. I kind of like lately been so busy and emotional. So, yeah, it is what it is. But we need to catch up on updates with the energies with you, Nick. So, probably after the chat, I'll give you a buzz for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I got some haircut today. I just actually got it done like 20 minutes ago. So here is Carl Lucy's in the house. Thank you for being here. CC got that questions up here for us. It is about how to be. Um, Let me get it right because it's another page. How to be vulnerable, true, but with boundaries. Let's first of all, since we're talking about vulnerability, what is it and vulnerable, and what it's about awkward part with this vulnerability going on. If you look at the vulnerability, that is to show you're helpless, that you're worthless, you fear pain, you've been negligent, you moral, you're an outcast, you are not valued. This is about vulnerability. It is about to show you your true self that hides from others. It's a very crucial within the twin flame. Okay, because the vulnerability is to expose yourself to the possibilities of you to be harmed or being attacked either physically or emotionally. That's what's mean vulnerable within the basic psychology. But if you look at it within the twin flames, if you are not vulnerable within your twin flame, then you're not truth. And you need to understand that those two are vulnerable with the love that you are, vulnerable with everything because you tell everything to your twin. That gives you the power of building the bridge, which is actually that's what vulnerable means. Vulnerable also means breach of partnership. And if you're not vulnerable for it, you can't cross the bridge of partnership. That part of partnership between the twin flames is required you to be a vulnerable. If you're not vulnerable, if you are not 100% vulnerability from within, you're not 100% truth. and that's going to lead to a pitfalls of your twin flame journey from within. I feel like crying today, terrible. I'm not fireball like yesterday, but hi, CC, welcome to the house. Yeah, there was I woke up at 2 o'clock and there was a lot of sadness. People called me. It's like, Dio, is everything okay? Some people were like, Dio, are you okay? Somebody today has a birthday and haven't talked to it, and kind of like lack of communications going on for it. So it's been a yeah, emotional day today. But that is the current energies. I know you're feeling it. I know you understanding it, and it's about the wisdom. Okay, and part of a crying and being emotional and expressing that you love somebody, even if they don't write you down or they don't want to see you, they just want to whatever. But that's what this is. That is about you to be vulnerable, you to be true, to you to be honest with your vulnerability. Because when the truth and the honesty with your vulnerability will actually help you to build opposite part, to build yourself up, to be strong, to be compassionate, not to be felt anymore that you are insignificant. Okay, but if you, the other person, use that part of you and they are breadcrumbing you of love, you're gonna feel discarded. You're gonna feel insignificant to them. Then, if they abandon you, then you're gonna go to grief and so on. You're gonna be feel all this emotions for it. Okay, can we have a fear and anxiety and so on and so on. But that's mean to be a vulnerable. Okay, because if you're not vulnerable, you don't know what love is. You can't open it up. We talk about the twin flames, that within the twin flames everything goes upside down in normal life. Okay, the normal relationships, and that's what people are used to it, they're not vulnerable. They don't say the truth things from within them. They don't say the true problems that they have in life. They don't truly says what they are with it. They only show up their good things that they have, the good positions of that they have. But lacks of vulnerability for it shows up that inside of them there are a lot of a lack of vulnerability, and there is a lot of fear that they cannot be vulnerable, they cannot be truth, they cannot be honest from within. And when the fear goes and kicks in from within, when the things begins to come out of the surface, then that when the harm in the psychology happens. That is it, when they hurt you, they discard you, they so on and so on for it. But use it to inflame. You show them the love the way it is. For that is coming into, if you guys been watching, I actually give it to a lot of the twin flames who wants to do a confession. It's called the naked talk. You basically open up your soul, because if you have to be in the divine connection, you cannot have all this hidden from within you. You have to come out. You have to be spoken. You have to be said. You have to be told. Okay, that's what the vulnerability is. Okay, that's what this connection of the twin flames does it. All right, the to be a vulnerable is exposing your weak spots, and those weak spots, okay, there are, you telling your twin flame, listen, I have this weak spots. Okay, don't hurt me there. That's what that is. I'm just telling you, heal me there instead of hurt me there. Okay, but we have a lot of the twin flames actually, because they cannot be honest to themselves. They can't be honest with you, and now that they use this weak spot because of their fear to let you go, but they don't work within this to be fixed. But if they both, they say they are vulnerabilities, if they both discussing the issues, they're building the bridge of partnership. And also that bridge with partnership, it's also built with the partnership with the divine. Okay. So look at from within you why you are not vulnerable, why you're not 100% truth, why you're not open, why you don't confess things, why you don't says things, why you don't look at it from within, or whatever the situations might be. And that's why the journey of the twin flame is the hardest thing you can get into the world. And I want to say thank you for CC. I know you're feeling emotional right now for it, but you put up good questions here. And I want to say thank you for, I want to recognize you for this again about the chat. That here, that's what it is. We're discussing it. Things that we all needed, and that's what this is. But before of answering the question, okay, how to be is why to be vulnerable. The why is more important than the how, because the why, that you show up your divine self, you open up your internal world from within, you open up your soul from within, and you allow someone to walk into that internal world for it. They can be connecting with you, they can be doing it with you. The question is what they are going to do with that connection is going to be showing up by their actions. Okay, that's mean to be a vulnerable. There is a one quote, it's easy to take your clothes off and shows up your body and have, physical. Um, but it's different when you undress your soul. That's what it's mean to be a vulnerable. When you're undressing your soul from within you. But you need to look at it, the rest of the part of that option, of that things that we discuss in it today is boundaries. But what is boundaries? Boundaries on the one side is limitations in the psychology, talking about you seeing the red flags before the damage is done, before someone damage you physically, materialistically, psychology, emotionally abused, and so on. Okay, because a lot of the people working it from their ego, when you're not doing the things that they want, they come into that internal world of yours and they do the worst damage from within you. Okay, and later on they understand they damage themselves as well, because it's different when you have normal 3D relationships. It's different when you have a relationship with the person and with the divine in there, because the soul is not something you have to go ahead and do all this. Okay, but the boundaries, the healthy boundaries, is to protect your in the psychology, that is it, to protect yourself from harm. Okay, you to see that the other person maybe lie, cheat, deceit, or has secret agendas that they're going to use you, they're going to discard you, they're going to let you go, they are going to do other things, they have their own plan, not because of any of this. For lately, it's been working with a lot of clients who have a lot of similarities, and I was just wonder why. Now, last night I discussed with one of the twin flames here in Bulgaria. We talked about this part of vulnerability. And when you find that you are 100% vulnerability, you discover your God given gift of strength for it. But most of the people have a fear not to look into that strength from within, because they are used to this society that we have now of living in fear. What I'm gonna make it to tomorrow, where I'm gonna have the money to tomorrow, and I'm gonna be supported. That it's is everything is gonna be okay. Well, I have a shelter, where I have a home, where I have this, where I have that. That's what this is for it. But when you are vulnerable, you understand what you need to do. You create an actions within yourself. So there is no security on this earth, but there is only an opportunity. Now you're taking that opportunity by using your vulnerabilities, you to feel secure from within. That is a growth within the twin flames for it. A lot of the boundaries, okay, comes in with the red flags. What the red flags is when someone says one thing, does another. Someone who is tripping when you tell them the truth, and they're like, "No, that's not the truth." Someone who's twisting the your words or twisting the truth the way it was. Usually, these people they are used to manipulate situations just so they can serve their own purpose. Okay, within the twin flames, though, that gets even worse because there it's involved energy, vibrations, gravitations, God, and so on for it. So, guys, be patient with the questions. Okay, I'll come in and answer it for it. Uh, but boundaries within the divine, okay, they are different because when you have someone comes in like twin flames and they comes in and did the damage in your internal world, then they dealing with the divine because that's internal world, the soul, it's property of divine. Now the situation is a little different because the person creates a karma with the divine. And now in this new cycle, we're going to begin to understand that within the soul connections, within the spiritual connections, when the karma is done, you're not just dealing with the person. You also have something else. You're going to deal with the divine, okay? And now the divine is going to be, a regular karma. Let's say it in 3D. You stole from someone, and the next life somebody's going to stole with you. That's okay. Now, when you're dealing with the divine, then it's going to be like somebody broke in your, you broke somebody's soul, and you'll see what's going to happen in the next life. So it's kind of like with the divine is going to work on it. There's going to be a lot of other situations that's going to comes in, but the divine is going to be help us to set up a different boundaries. Those are the boundaries, like the one of the boundaries that divine has been set. That is the door of the truth. Okay, the door of the truth that nobody can walk anymore in your internal world if they're not a truthful, but they have to be truthful to the divine. Okay, so if somebody destroyed your internal world, their job will be to to resurrect it, that internal world, to fix that internal world, to repair the damage that it was, and so on. But this we are going to more looking into it when Jupiter is going to move back into Aries. Now, Jupiter currently, which is we are thankful for the new cycle. Jupiter currently is going retrograde. We are going to do our evaluations of this new cycle. Some of you may feel sentimental or kind of like a little energy of that. Why we don't get this growth? Continue going, move forward. I love the new cycle. I want to get in. Now you go back. You're gonna review, including the confusions that was in the past cycle because Jupiter heads out. It says like it's time. Now he's kind of like a stationary comes in, coming in for it. It's going to slow it down, but we already feel this energy uh, for us. So now we are going to have a divine boundaries instead of only having a boundaries from um, like in the psychology, because you need to understand in the twin flames vulnerability is not recommended, is required for it, is required. You are not going to be able to reach 100% love from within and 100% truth from within if you're not vulnerable. You hiding your shadow. Your vulnerability is your shadow. You look at it within your shadow, with the things that you hide, with the things that they are making you kind of like a you to hide your true self from within. That's what this is. And you can't be in a true connections if you hide something from the other. Okay, this is like a two business partners, and the one hides from the other what is doing. This is the same thing in a relationship, that the one hides that they cheat or they are manipulate or they doing this, they doing that. You can't, just simply you can't. Now in the spiritual realms, in the spiritual connections, okay, now you're evolving the soul and the divine. Okay, we got more things that we are with. So the divine is setting the boundaries. And here that you gotta look from within yourself and evolve spiritually is to have these boundaries and set the boundaries from within the divine, because the divine says like, take it easy, we'll be fixed, we'll be okay, situation's gonna be right, and so on for it. Um, there's been a lot of numbers, by the way. Since this morning, I had a 0818, 0848, 11, I mean 1441, 1111. I did the video 1551, and they're all they come and pile up, all those questions, all those numbers for it. So look from within. Why you cannot be vulnerable? That is your limitations from within. If you are vulnerable and you are damaged, do you trust the divine that's gonna set up right now the boundaries from within you? And take a look from within you. What is your weaknesses? And don't be ashamed of the weaknesses, but accepting them. Once you are accepting them, they will accepting them. Okay, so don't fear of you to expose your vulnerabilities. Okay, don't I mean, take a look here, that's the fear. Okay, maybe you feel like you are alone, vulnerable, worthless, or you are inadequate, you are weak, you feel like you are unimportant, or lost, grief, discarded, or helpless, hopeless, and so on. Okay, don't. Okay, you accept you, they're gonna accept it the way you are if they are the one, because they know how to heal this from within, like you know how to heal your twin flame. That's what you're exposing the vulnerabilities to each other to heal, not to harm each other. So, great point of the CC for it. But once the damage that is done, the damage actually shows up that it's more needs to be done. You have to go back to that vulnerability because the damage was done because of lack of being vulnerable, lack of to being honest of the truth, and so on. So this vulnerability, okay, it shows up a lot of things that they've been hitting within the shadow for it. So you either gonna be a vulnerable and fix these things in the good way, or you're gonna be bad with vulnerability. There's gonna be a damage, and the damage gonna show the same things. The same things needs to be fixed. And this is why with the new cycle, we are illuminated of the issues. And I'm so grateful for all of you that you guys are here and we're discussing not the positive, not only the negative side. Okay. We illuminate ourselves for all this. This is our illumination state of beings that we are evolving with. So, this is kind of like I have this kind of like a short things for you. I will be looking at right now to your questions, but don't fear. You either have a fear or you have a love. Either you be a vulnerable or you having a face mask. Either you want to be vulnerable and happy, or you gonna be living on fear and ego and a miserable. That's it's your point. Don't be ashamed with talk about with everyone as who you truly are. That's going to help you to get okay with your vulnerability. For some of the twin flames I'm talking about, we are 100% open. It's like you talking to your twin flame, okay? That's how we are have to be. You have no shame, no blame, no fear. You have nothing. You just even say things that usually normal people, they don't even come their mind to say it. Okay, but that's what means to be vulnerable. It means to be open on 100% open. Okay, now if somebody comes into you and you sense what they're trying to do and the divines tell you, they don't tell you the truth, you see the gravitation, you see the things. Now the divine's like, you ain't going there into inner truth. That's what the God create, the universe create, the confession, and a lot of the twin flames who are go back and reconcile, and they illuminate themselves about this process. That's what it's called, the illumination state. The twin flames, they come back to you and they confess everything, confess from the soul. Now they show up the vulnerability. That's what the vulnerability, again, it is incredibly powerful. It is a weakness for the mind, but vulnerability, it is the power within the soul to be a true. So it can become the true love. That's what that is. That's why when you are in love, you are blind because you are open, you're vulnerable. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Let's see the questions you guys have. So hopefully you guys like what I got to say for you. And let's see, where is my mouse? There it is. All right. Alchemy, I only slept in an hour and suddenly woke up. I guess so I needed to be here. Yeah, I slept for like 2 hours. I had like a dream that somebody was running, and the universe shows me they just like on a treadmill running. They're running nowhere. It's kind of like a running out of nowhere. And I woke up. I go back to sleep. It was the same thing. I woke up again. Same thing. I was like, what the heck? But I felt like this person was, grabbing everything. They were running in fear and shame and guilt and so on. I was like, come on for it. CC, I felt crying today. Terrible. Yeah, crying. Yeah, crying is healing. So that's mean you healing something. I felt that the energy was collective for it. Even someone texts me, Dio, what's going on? I broke my relationship with my mother, and we end up in a lot of problems because of she's always trying to control me. And that call came in from Asia. Okay. Some of you want to ask, and then I'm expecting this energy to come sometimes this afternoon here. And yeah, it is what it is. I have a lot of people that I'm talking to from India. So if you're wondering about that, I am so much within the Indian culture. I like it. All right. Um, it's good that you guys communicated here and express your feelings. Guys, I'm so happy that you guys are here. Okay. Alfred's break with me. Break with me, not with me. Stay alone. All only twin. He say yes. I haven't friends for it. Uh, Christian is it's good that you share this with us. By the way, gotta give you a credit of sharing this thing here. All right. Um, so if you don't have a friends, why? The moon today came to a Gemini, which is the friends, your surrounding. And that's what a lot of the people have this friendship evaluations for it. Maybe some of you find out that your friends, they were not actually friends. They were just using you for some their benefit. So be mindful about it. There's going to be something like this coming up in the next 2 days for it. But the moon, it's heading towards Lilith and Venus, and that energy is going to be rough for feminine energies. It's going to be rough for it. It's going to be a rough time. Uh, for uh, Carl Lucy, hi Dio, trying to heal my core wounds. Help me to start to consider open up again. Your journey can hurt too much, and on top of the core wounds, almost unbearable. Carl Lucy, if your internal world was kind of like a damage from your twin flame, maybe your twin flame was a toxic, like a personality, and when I walked into your internal world, okay, they're also toxic in your internal world, in your cores are being damaged. That's mean you have to build a new course, you have to build a new values, you have to seek a divine help from within, looking at within the soul and go a little bit higher, increase your vibrations, you increase your beliefs, and now create a course that they are based out of the truth for it, because maybe your twin came in to destroy some of the faults from within you, or some of the faults within them, so they can understand that the damage that they did to you was the damage that they've been doing all their life, and that way they're going to come up to the illuminations that they have to stop with this building, and later on maybe they come back to you and rebuild you. But that is a whole part of illumination process. Rebuilding your course is hard, but you have to believe within the divine, trust the divine, ask them to go ahead and build that truth. Now you're going to be asking for the truth, and the only way you see the truth is by actions, okay, not by words, not by energy, okay, the truth. And the truth will comes out as actions that they're going to gravitate. You see the performance, because performance is what the divine will look for it. The divine looks for a performance of the twin flames, not just somebody talks. They look for a performance. Okay, so rebuild yourself. My heart goes with you, because you're not the only one. There has been a lot of twin flames that they've been damaged, they've been broken in the past. Talking about like year or so, because that's what it was, the energies for it. But rebuild, okay, build something solid from you to you, not from you to somebody else, from you to you, with the help of the divine. Cara Lucy, as I said, my heart goes with you, because I know how that goes for it. CC, I don't get it. I'm a vulnerable. Many people reject my feelings, and I continue to be vulnerable. And I still feeling fulfilled and peace. What I am, I don't understand. CC, a lot of the people think that when you show up your weaknesses, you're weak. That's where it comes from. That is a lack of, because, see, they cannot be vulnerable like you. They think like if you're exposing your vulnerability, you're weak. They cannot be strong as you are to be a vulnerable. They cannot be vulnerable. They probably are chickens, like a personality. They hide themselves, and they maybe look at me, who I am. I got so much ego, I can do whatever I want, and so on and so on. Yeah. Well, you need to understand that you're not doing anything wrong. All right. You are in the right path. They are the ones who don't understand the vulnerability of the proper soul purpose for it, because you are more love in you than love that they'll probably ever experience if they're not vulnerable. You need to understand, person who is not vulnerable doesn't understand love. No, that is impossible. Impossible for it. Because when you are vulnerable, you love yourself enough, and you love enough the person to tell him your vulnerabilities. That is a different kind of love. That is a powerful love. That is, has a trust, honest, respect, dignity, God. Everything is in there when you are vulnerable. Everything is in there. So if you don't understand, now you do. So let them think of their 3D or 4D energies within you. CC, keep you vulnerable. Have the power from within. All right. When you say release the TF to the universe, what do you mean? Oh, hold on, Katie, that was a different question. Are you DM or DF? Just asking. Mostly I'm acting of both. I'm mixed of the two. I have a lot of divine feminine from with me. I only use the divine masculine energy when uh, I have to show up my boundaries. But the feminine energy shows up my vulnerability for it. But my divine masculine energy is sometimes it's kind of like this power of all the time helping get in, done the things right, the men's way, show myself as a man, which is keep up my word, do what I had to do, uh, don't be lazy and not expecting from the other person to show up their divine masculine energy. But you need to understand between the two, there is a distort divine feminine and there is a distort divine masculine. That is a distortion of this energy is because of a lack of vulnerability for it. Hi, CF. Thank you for being here. Katie, it's good that you're paying attention to this, but your job is learning the proper way of divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, and if there is a distort energy, that's mean it's a problem with vulnerability from to it. When you say release it, the TF to the universe, what do you mean? At some point, your twin flame contacts, they don't want to talk to you, you text them, and they maybe say, well, certain things, okay, or they don't even respond to you. Okay, they just go silent, like, okay, you have nothing to do with this anymore. They made a contract with you and the divine. Since they broke the contract with you with the communications and everything, you let them go to the universe. All right. If they don't want to see you, they don't want to talk to you just because you tell them, hey, I don't want to deal with other things. If you want to see me, fine. If you don't want to see me, it's up to you. You know, it's for you. So that's what's mean to be let it go to the universe, because the universe is going to show them their lack of vulnerability. Is going to show them the problems they need to work on it. It's going to put different things because they promise at some point the divine that they are going to take responsibility for you. They didn't, okay? Or you're going to take responsibility for them, and things didn't work well. A lot of the twin flames, that's what they go through because they have to recognize this divine part. Some of the twin flames, they're really breaking it so bad. So they illuminate themselves that they have to come back. They have to obey God, obey God, and they have to, take it easy with everything because they learned the damage for it. So that's what this is to the universe, because the universe knows about a contract. We don't keep eyes on the contract. It's not our responsibility. Okay. Also, you need to take your twin flame from the throne that it's inside of you. You put them at that pedestal inside of you. No, it is the universe. That's its own spot. That's God from within you. Okay. So that is a one thing. All right. So this energy conforms for me. I received anger and projection from my adult son yesterday. I'm still processing. Yeah, Maria Richards. Yeah, there's a lot of going on between within this motherly energy. For I didn't spoke about the gravitational report, but we are going to looking at this mother's energy, Maria. For it, I had a lady with 4 kids that been working with her. I spoke with her. Then is another lady, and now I have one client that actually really begin to work with because the damage that was done. Okay, she sees it on the kid, and now she works with a lady that I work with. She's a psychologist. Now they're working with the problem to get into it because the problem was actually beginning back far away. But now recognize this. They helped and they getting the help. I got a good feedback from it. But yes, those things are meant to be. They happening, and it's gonna begin to emerge more and more from within. Last night we talked about that through the indulgence. Okay, we make generations that was handicapped. That generations that was handicapped now they have a kids, they don't know how to deal with kids. They don't know dignity, responsibility, respect. They have something else in there. Everyone has to kind of like giving to them, and they don't know how to usually work or do things. They're not familiar with how to grow plants. They don't want to do a any kind of like a regular housework. But if you, we don't teach them, they're not gonna know either. Okay, and we see like the 2 generations they are kind of like don't know what to do, and now there is a problems for it because the one person is like, hey, do your things, and the other is like, no, you have to do it for me, you're my mother, you have to carry me, you gave me a birth and you have to take care of me. Now the problems begin when that happens, when your kids did the same thing to you as a mother. That's what that goes on for, and it's gonna come up more and more in the next few months. So Maria, yeah, I get it. Brooklyn, hi Brooklyn, thank you for being here. CC Delice from ITF that he has was single. He keep lying more than 3 years. Broke my trust so bad. I know I met someone who is in divorce, and oh boy, my head has trust issues so bad. Yeah, when someone's damaged you now, you're gonna feel no more trust. You're gonna feel like lack of trust, and that lack of trust is a more a psychology problem. It's gonna look at it within the vulnerabilities because now you don't trust people because once you trusted so much, once you are vulnerable, but look at it from within. Someone who doesn't know how to be vulnerable damaged you, but they have to deal with the divine now because of you. That's a different kind of karma. Okay, they build karma now within the divine because they damage you in a divine level. They damage you in a divine soul, but you have to find the strength to rebuild with the divine and build more trust within the divine when the divine is going to ask you to trust again. Okay, but for now, heal from within, trust from within, guard your heart, and be cautious with gravitations. That gravitation is going to tell you everything in the new cycle, everything. The gravity, it's gonna be like no tomorrow. But within the twin flames, when the gravitations is soft and illuminates, then the gravity is gonna be even stronger of coming back. So yeah, you will have trust issues. I know you're not the only one there. Okay, you're not the only one. A lot of us out there, we have this, including me. So we don't trust the people who doesn't speak the truth because their actions doesn't meet the words, and that's what it is. Lack of trust that it's broken. It's because of the divine. So okay, man, there's a lot of questions. Setting boundaries for love of self, love for the twin. Sometimes we break our boundaries for short-term gain and then look for a long-term gain within the twin flame journey. Lessons for me, yes. Ray, that's not the only one. I see some lot of the twin flames set up for let's try this, let's try that. We'll see how it goes, and so on. And they get in a short-term gain, and they lose the long-term gain from within. So yeah, and a lot of the people they don't look that way. They look at it for something else, and what usually pulls them down is the ego, the fear for it, the lack of mistrust because they're not trusting themselves and they don't trust in you. So they're looking at to get the best of the situations and see what it's going to turn out. Well, they don't know that they preset themselves and the person to an automatic failure for. So yeah, Ray, we know what I'm talking about, right? My heart goes with you. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Asked me the last time I see my twin. He told me why he lies. He said that he scared to tell people the truth because of what people may think of him. But I told him I appreciate that open up to me and tell me exactly, Ann Smith. That's what you need to do. Okay, because most of the twin flames out there, they're lying because what people thinking about them because in the past of their experience they haven't learned to be vulnerable, they haven't accept themselves as vulnerable, and now they're afraid of their vulnerability of the truth is going to come out for issues. That could be a family issues, that could be a religious issue, that could be a abuse issues from parents, that could be abuse within the family, that could be a toxic behavior within the family itself, maybe a toxic relationship that the person was, and so on and so on. And now they come in with they crying their soul out. Yeah, when they're crying their soul out, they gotta show you that with actions that they change their behavior. And usually divine is asked them to repair or rebuild everything they destroy. That is one huge lesson that we are going to see the divines in that position for. So Anne Smith, yeah, but I'm happy that you accepted the vulnerability of your twin. It's required a lot of power after you've been hurt from them, you to accepting them. But you need to understand that the truth, the power, the value of the truth, it's also for them to be vulnerable with you. That's what this is. Because when you know the truth, you know how to act and react. Okay, not just to for it. So CC, how to convince yourself that you are love yourself. I mean, loneliness, misunderstanding, sorrow, love yourself, so you don't need any other. CC, look from within yourself. I mean, there is something what's called self motivation. If nobody's there for you to motivate you, you look it up to the divine and you kind of like, it is what it is. I have to deal with it. I have to get up. I have to have a life. I have to do things that I'm needed to do. I have a situations that I need to get. I have to solve these situations. And even if those situations are not solved, I have to go move forward from within. You fall down, now you have to get up. So basically that is for it. For example, if you are like a child, you kind of like walked in, you fall down on your knees, you scraped your knees, was so bad, and now you can't get in, you can't get up, and you're waiting on someone to pick you up. Well, nobody's coming. Now you pick yourself up with the bleeding knees and you kind of like get up. Maybe your hands was also. And now you are like, okay, then I have to go. I gotta go home. I gotta see, it's not that, and so on. But if someone comes in and picks you up for it, and they are right away, oh, and you're like, oh, yeah, somebody saved me. You will expect someone that comes in and saves you. So there is this process from within you that you need to build of self motivation about to get up, to do it again, to have that power, that masculine energy that is from within you to go ahead and do it. Okay, you have something that you're here for, and that's gotta give you a power of looking ahead, looking forward. Go be in service of others. Go help. Go be who you are. That's give you a this power from within you to get up. CC. So that's what I'm trying to explain it to you. But look from within to see all this. Okay. CC, strange thing that plays this moment that I don't desire to be with my twin flame anymore. I don't never expected that to happen. Who can I give myself someone new and believe? You need to understand that when you give it to the your twin flame, to the universe, they know what to do. Okay. The biggest weapons that is a patience and time. A lot of the people think the time is something, okay, and a patience. Can you imagine? So you have to build the patience within you for the next 2, 3, 4 lifetimes to be with them. That's power. That's power in there. Maybe you don't have to, you can be with them right now. But if it's meant to be, and if the divine has something to do with it, they will be put in the situations that will have no other choice but with you. That's how the life is going to turn around it. So that's what it is. All right, CC, Brooklyn. I think the biggest misconceptions that I had at the beginning of my journey is that they cannot awaken until they reach inner union. We can only awaken one at a time. Yeah, the awakening actually is the recognition from within what we are doing after we awaken. That is what we are going to create as an actions of what we are as a human, what things we need to do. And Brooklyn, yes, there is a misconceptions about all this, but when the twin flames working together towards a common issue, they have interdependence and they mutually work within the issues. Then the issues are fixed from the both sides, the good and the bad, and coming together, and they have a higher rate of success compared to being the separation, trying to solve the issues for it. So that's I will kind of like agree with you. A very good thing for. All right, my chat. I gotta look at my chat. Maria sends namaste in a heart. Okay. Once we reached out inner union, the baton is passed to them. The battle, the bat is passed to them. They can choose to awaken or not if they are meant to, and keep. Yeah, or whipping. Yeah, exactly, Brooklyn. Yeah, the universe is deal with them. That's the one reason you give it to it. It's like, hey, they don't want to listen to me. They're your baby, and you're not worried about it. But don't sense the energy that the universe gonna whoop them out. That is the energy that you should not send to twin flame. You just simply you can warn them, hey, don't do this. You're gonna create karma. And they're like, well, I'll let God tell me. You're like, hands down. Okay. Like, okay. You let it go within this. For it, there's been a lot of stories out there for the twin flames that They come to me, it's like, I did so bad to my twin flame. Now he has a life and everything else, and I'm in the misery. Why? You make your twin flame miserable, and now your life is a misery. Why? So the universe teaching you about, you missed an opportunity. You didn't miss an opportunity. You missed to be a vulnerable, open to truth, and that's what universe is teaching you for. So that's what happens. Vulnerability is the key. I actually, yes, we're connecting to this topic for it, and some of the twin flames. It's like, Dio, how can I go ahead and reunite with my twin? Confess. Yeah, but have a fear of confession. Don't fear that confession. Confession is a power that you do it through the divine. Divine can put love in your twin flame when you confess more than you can imagine. But are you going to confess? Why you have a fear of the confession? Lack of vulnerability, lack of truth, honesty, dignity. Decent human being does that. So yeah. Um, my friends don't understand that I love unconditionally. They think that it's easy to forget the love. Christine, yeah, a lot of the people won't understand unconditional love because unconditional love, it's also connected with vulnerability. Okay. For example, you have to love me because of I'm so alone, and without you, then you have to love me. That condition, okay? Because I am alone, making a statement. You are alone for it. But if you said, I love unconditionally, and I don't mind to be alone, that is a power in there. And a lot of the people don't understand this. You need to understand, most of the people, they don't have this understanding that we do have as the twin flames. Okay, even some of the people who walked into the twin flames, they understand the twin flames. Even your twin flame, if they don't have that basic understanding of their early childhood, their earlier life, they don't have a hard time to do this for it, simply because it's not built from within them. So yeah. Katie, the energy is shifting for me, yet the TF energy is still pulsing on mine. Feels like it's blocking me. This is when I realized that, so that I maybe release my energy. Yeah, the energy of the twin flames lately has been very increasing. It's increasing on the both sides. That is because it's to create illumination processes. We have two illumination processes are coming in: the feminine energy in the family, and the masculine energy in Taurus, about building a new stable life. Okay, so the one fixed the issues in the family, the other one fixed the basic material stuff. Those two are a course from within to have a stable life. Okay, because if you don't have a stable physical life, you don't have a stable place to live, you don't have a stable income, stable jobs, you live in a misery. So now that misery that is there reflects the misery within the family. The other way around, you have a stable house, you have everything, you got all this, you got all the cars and everything, but guess what? There is, every time in the family there is a war, scandals, toxicity, problems. There's always someone does anything. Guess what? Is that really matter that you have the big house and so on? No. So now that's two values in there, is to build a good partnership, good relationship. That's what that comes from, to illuminate those two positions for it. Okay. Uh, Brooklyn, I think I was born with trust issue. You could be a born with trust issue, or Brooklyn, take a look. Maybe the trust issue begin early in the childhood. Okay, don't say I was just born. Maybe you If somebody, for example, one of your parents can't to watch you and they say, I'll come back in an hour, but they are missing for 2, 3, and now you're alone, you will build this lack of trust in there, Brooklyn. Learning discernment and the boundaries is so important. Then you realize who can trust and who can't. Exactly. But now in the new cycle for it, divine is really going to protect you, and they're going to allow people to come in. This is what we are growing into the new cycle. It's going to be very powerful. And in Brooklyn, if you catch up that energy, the gravitations, you feel like the divine is kind of like creates a anti-gravity things towards all the negativity. All right. I know some of you feeling it here, and you guys laughing on it because you know what's going on. I think one of you is Nick Alchemy for it, and the other one is Ray. I know you two are definitely on that case. For uh, Lamik, why don't you get angry? Was there is a time you get angry? Oh yes, CC, I get angry. Not that I don't. I do. That's part of a masculine energy. I get angry when there is a abuse for it. I am a Mars a retrograde in Taurus, which is mean a spiritual warrior into the material world, which is mean that if I see someone disrespect someone, you will see that Taurus anger coming out right away for it. But don't push it. I'm forgiving. I'm forgiven. Like, you need to understand Taurus is forgiving. It's like, okay, it's just a mistake, or maybe that's how their relationship, that it's how this is, it's how that goes until there is a limit that builds up within the Taurus. And when that energy comes out, better you're not seeing it. You're not going to say this is Dio. But that's a part of masculine energy that I'm balancing out. I'm doing it within the control. Okay. Specifically when there is a disrespect. You disrespect me, you disrespect divine, or you disrespect the woman I love. You gotta know that something is gonna come out from you, and it's not gonna be pleasant. See. So for it, yeah. Especially, if like the son disrespect the mother in there. Oh, you gonna see me like hurricane come forward. Yes, for it. Yeah, thanks for the haircut. Yeah. So that's what CC. That's what I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry if you lie to me, if you are cheating on me, or you don't want to know about this anger. People who felt that anger, it's like the divine is angry from within. Something about the truth, yes, for it. And yeah, Del Mars is actually Del Mars is. I have a yacht in there. Without Mars, it's kind of like what they call the anger of God to it, and I learned over the years to control it. I learned over the years to get into that anger, uh, really, to be taken more wisely. But when that limit crossover for it, specifically with disrespect and dignity or decency, or you lied to me, okay? When I was having 100% trust in you and you lied to me, oh, I'm a Libra, okay? Go and lie Libra. You're gonna get you don't like Libra for it. Yeah. So Maria Richardson back, lost the connection in a minute. Welcome back, Maria. Just 1010. CC, I'm so tired begin me being true vulnerable and more out of this world thing than earth thing. So tired. Yeah, we're all tired, CC. we're all tired. Some days we want to have this inner peace from within. We need to understand you can't achieve the inner peace if you're not vulnerable. Inner peace is the reward of the twin flames. Do you know what peaceful is? The inner peace when everything is just beautiful. Might give it a taste how that goes. Can you imagine this for a lifetime or forever? Okay, to have internal peace within your soul, not worries about anything and anything. All you have to worry is being truthful and act in the truth and live within the present. You need to understand the inner peace is a reward because that inner peace is going to be from within you, within the person, within the divine, within the family members, with everyone into the family line pretty much, because they're going to tap into the vibrations of that peace within you. They're going to be jealous family members, or there's going to be a jealous parents because they couldn't achieve this. But you in your twin flame achieving this, oh, that's what the gift is. But vulnerable before anything. 1 hour, 10 minutes late, Josh, for Katie Earth sign. Yeah, as a Libra, other Libras are very hit and miss. Some I just don't align with all. Yeah, you need to understand it all depends of the Libra. The Libra is very important. What is their rising sign? That's how they're reacting on it. For example, if that is a Leo for it, they're gonna think like they're the king magistrate and so on, and everything has to go in their own way. They're gonna have this um, like usually some of the stars who are in the movie industry. That's what they have. Something within the two because of this celebrity. Okay, for it. But if you're a Libra, let's say like within Aquarius, that's going to be a lot of innovations, a lot of things that's going to be innovative, but it's going to be so much within air. If you are with ascendant, for example, Capricorn, that is going to be about service. Okay, service the other, being on a public service, devotion. For if it's a Cancer, for example, that's one of the good positions in there because Libra represents partnership, but you're looking within the family. You know, first things the family and the partnership and the family match up with this, and they're cardinal signs, but also could be lead to a lot of problems because there is a square in there. So for yeah, I can talk to you about all this astrology all day long. For it, maybe one day we can talk about astrology for you guys. We'll see. CC, I'm not a twin flame, but a single flame. You are a twin flame from within you, CC. This is what you are. You become the twin flame yourself within universe, and universe brings you for it. Namaste. Yeah. For love to all. CF, I'm a Scorpio. Oh, wow. Nice one, Scorpio. CF, yeah. So you need to understand Scorpio is always handling one secret that Libra has to understand. And Sagittarius has one secret that the Scorpio has to understand. And here what that is that Sagittarius, okay, Sag, they are the one responsible for the vulnerability because Scorpio hides its vulnerability. Sagittarius don't know how to shut up and they says everything. So if you have a problem with vulnerability, take a look what your house is, your Sagittarius. Okay, if for example that is in the fifth house and you have no planets, there's going to be a lot of issues within kids in there. But if there is a planet, uh, for example, if it's in the fifth house, there is Mars in there. It's going to be trigger that vulnerability, and you might go with your masculine energies in there. And such. Okay, it is true with certain elimination. You don't need to love to another soul person anymore. Then you can love yourself. Well, you first eliminate from within you. Very good, Sissy. For certain things, yes, but you need to understand that to have energies exchange, to grow within the universe, to create a divine beings for it, you can't just do it on your own. Doesn't work that way in the universe. That's what we are, male and female. All right, unless we become an angels, that's a whole another story. Talk about the angels yesterday. um, Ray, how can we tell when feeling stuck or down or upset this stuff to it's ours or that we are picking up from the twin? If you're picking up from the twin, there's going to be a visions of your twin. For example, you're going to see them. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel their presence. You're going to feel their energy. You're going to feel pretty much everything for it from within. But if it is collective energy, everyone's going to feel in it. Could be a mix of both. But if you don't feel their energy, you don't feel this, but you feel this energy, kind of like a sadness, crying, and so on. And you see people, people like talking about, oh, I just broke with my boyfriend. And then you look at other people around. You need to understand it's collective, right? But if it's strictly 100% from your twin flame, you will know. Specifically, if you get in awake between the hours of 2 and 4, and you have dreams about them, and you can get away without feelings and everything because they are in their feelings within the soul. Because if they fall asleep from within, then the soul it's coming and merge within the energy now, and you're feeling it. Yeah, that's how it goes. So yeah, is everyone on earth meant to submerge with another? Some people don't. Some people choose not to. Some people they were not supposed to, but they did it anyway. There is a consequences in there, CC. But you need to understand that we are meant to be with another human being. We just are. That's how it goes. Katie, do you do a personal astrology charging? Yeah, I do. You can message me on the Facebook. You can private message me there. If you don't have a Facebook, you can just download Messenger. The name is the same on the Facebook. And yes, I do a personal. It's called astro gravitational psychoanalysis, sort of. I have to explain that, Katie. So if you need one, you can reach out to me. Some of the people you can ask here in the chat room. You can ask for what is the opinion of us. They will tell you. Okay. Dio does absolutely great personal astrology. CC. Thanks, CC. Yeah. So I let others tell you. They know more. What about Libra with ascendant Gemini? Margaret, mm, um, What about Libra with descendant Gemini? You need to understand that Gemini, Libra with Gemini will look a lot about to the friends. You got to be very careful with the Gemini ascendant, because within Gemini ascendant, if there is a squares or oppositions or something, you might end up having a lot of influence from your friends that will impact your life. You may suffer from a lot of friends' wrong advices, or end up in a wrong friends environment, just so you're not alone. Okay, Libra, they hate to be alone, but actually when they're alone they find their own power. So within the Gemini ascendant, you got to be very careful. If you have a planet specifically in Gemini, mostly like the first house, what that planet will be. If that planet has like positive or negative gravitations from within, that can really impact your life, because that's how you look. Also within Gemini, try not to take things personally. There's going to be maybe a lot of issues since you're Libra sensitive, and because everything is in air, it's about these emotions, energies. So that will be Josh. So wow, thank you. Um, and Mars and Leo, you gotta be careful with Mars and Leo. Some of the Mars and Leo, if there is a situations within Mars and Leo, that is the warrior that wants to become a king, and Leo is a very specific zodiac sign. Okay, that is the one zodiac sign that the sun is there. Without the sun, there will be no gravitation field. So when the Mars is there, Mars can be helpful to rise a person who is king. All right, but it could be turned to a horrible, horrible person in there as well. So that's what for um, for it. Oh wow, guys! Well, thank you for the reference about your astrology readings with me. I appreciate it. All right. Dio, how could you explain a bit about your experience around the final part of your twin flame journey and how it came into the end with your awakening? Uh, the final part of the journey, okay, I've been in a spiritual connection to last fall. There was a lot of things that I experienced for very first time. That's how I know. I talk about through experience, talking about through visions, but also what it does is I am awakening with talking with a lot of twin flames who are like me. We're sharing personal development with some of the people. Some of the people are here in this chat, and that's how we know. We actually confirm the same informations because before we speak for it. So that's how this uh, align up information is. And you end up with this awakening because the divine sees you what you're doing, like what I've been done it in the past 7 years, pretty much as a twin flame, and they know that I had to prove to the divine last year that I did what I came for. And my award was this illumination process. And that illumination process now we are dealing with for. So that's how I didn't came up with it. It's universe came up with it. And we are just a few people out there that we are confirming the same things over and over. I was able to unlock someone to be the same way, which is a helped a lot. So we know that this is works. Okay. Can the DM get over their fear of being vulnerable by themselves? Yes, when they are in pain. Come like, why am I so much in pain? What's going on within me? Why I'm not happy? Why my life is miserable? Why I lost everything? Tower moment. The tower moments are the one that reveals everything in life. When everything that was built was destroyed, then you do realize what was destroyed, the fear. And when they look the fear, now they are have to rebuild, and they rebuild from within. But without the fear, they overcome it. That's truth what you said about my ascent. I have Mercury Libra too. For okay, Market. If you need a reading and more information, you can actually get me on the Facebook, and I can do your chart. So happy more to see it, because just to separate informations, what this and what's that, doesn't give me the whole picture for it. But if you have Mercury and Libra, that's means that you're going to be talking a lot about the righteousness from within, a lot about relationship, what it's should be. But if that Mercury it's kind of like a wounded or something, you might not talk about that. You maybe to in order to keep the peace, you don't say the truth, and you maybe not being vulnerable from it for it. Life path, my interest astrologically. Okay. Was a good shot today, wasn't it? Wow, 1 hour, 20 minutes talking. Was good. I hope you guys had a good, take a good notes or taken a good understandings from here about it. So now it's the time for this and thinking about what we're going to talk about tomorrow. All right, guys. So you are into it. How strong does not sleeping influence someone in being more or less vulnerable? Not sleeping? What do you mean not sleeping, CC? Is that a like idea for a talk? Or you're just asking a question, CC? Oh yeah. Thank you, Ray. Let's say tomorrow after the chat, we are going to a Facebook. How about that, Ray? Right after we finish. Tomorrow we finish here. We head out to the chat room, and I'm going to open it up. And if you wanted to be at the video live chat, then we are going to talk and see our faces and get to know each other. So we're going to set up right after. I'll post it in the Facebook group. Gestion or bored. I had several nightmares, and you need to understand, if you get in the nightmares, that is your fears from within, CC. So you got 8 topics for it. Lots of great info. I'll catch up with what I missed listening again. I'll be a gift. Thank you to you and everyone's contributions. You're welcome, Maria. Tomorrow I have celebration, very short for this. I'll swap nightmares for relief from this body ache. No, you don't want to do that, Josh. You don't want that swap, because you have no idea what the nightmares can do to your body. Yeah, we got a body accidents because of change of the fields. CC, I'll pay you. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. All right. I'll go ahead and look the astrology chart. So see if one of you is gonna come up with the cleverest idea. What we're gonna just talk about tomorrow. Okay. All right. Ooh. Ooh. That's gonna be a good one. All right. Wow. Hmm. Wow. Transformations through a friendship with yourself. That's gonna be a good energy. Transformation and healing. That's gonna be a good one. Open up to be a vulnerable. That's gonna be good. Growth through a relationship with yourself. That's gonna be good too. That's all I see. Recognize your own sabotage. Katie, are you still aware of your TF's energy? I'm aware of a lot of energies, but the last connection is actually the one that I feel so strong. There is actually is something that goes on within the grid now that a lot of the people of the twin flames they have emerged connections. So basically, other people can feel what's going on between you and your twin, or you gonna feel between your twin and somebody else, or and so on and so on. It's been going on around. It is divine, kind of like an inner help, sort of. Katie. Yeah, I'm aware of when it wakes me up at certain hours and I see it and I know that's the energy. I know how that energy is. Yeah, I know. Uh, my chat is stuck. Recognize your own self sabotage. You know what? I'll do that. Who's gonna go with that? Oh, Ray's got it. Working with the energy of transformations of self through reflections and timelines. Through reflection is good, but if you add it in the timelines, we already covered that, Ray. If you remember, we talked about the timelines before. What is the final part of the TF journey? Internal peace within you and the divine. That is the final thing. Now you can go and build things. But the internal peace in the soul, the state of inner peace that it's a part of illuminations that whatever you do, whatever is going to happen, you're not worry about it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to constantly be in a treadmill of life. I must, I need to, he has to, she has to, they have to. None of that. There is actually internal peace within a soul that if somebody's got to do something, they're going to do it because of themselves, not because of you. But how to accept, embrace your dark side. CC, we talk about Lilith. But I think that self-sabotage or working with the energy for transformation of self through reflections. Timelines of your life, regards life cycle. Yeah, we'll go with that. I actually think that it's going to be good. Self-sabotage. I think we talk about this self-sabotage for, but I want to get what's the question of CC was. Um, recognize your own self-sabotage. All right, that is a twin flame or just a regular thing? I mean, CC, deep into it. You want me to go deep? Man, we'll go deep. We're gonna dive in. Perhaps a blend. Okay. All right, guys. All right, let's share some love around here. Let's be thankful for this champ today. And let's close this session out and share the love. And tomorrow we are going to talk about the self sabotage, which is to recognize your self sabotage for it. And we're going to dive in deep from within the self sabotage. And from there, we are going to head out in the Facebook and we are going to see each other and laugh on it and talk about it. And you guys can have all the questions in the world in there. If you want to get into the Facebook, please message me that you want to be on that group. And we are going to have that chat. All right, guys. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's share the love for it. And appreciate everyone who comes into the chat and watching you this video. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys be love. Let me give you the gifts of love here. Lots of it. There you go. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. And we're going to be doing self-sabotage. Be love.